So to our top story, and UDM Leader Bantu Holomisa wants President Cyril Ramaphosa to take leave pending investigations into the theft at his farm. Holomisa wants Parliament to investigate the matter. Millions of dollars were apparently stolen from the Phala Phala farm in Limpopo in 2020. Though, of course, the President is saying it was much less money than $4 million as alleged. Controversial former spy boss Arthur Fraser made the matter public last week after opening a case against the President. Our senior reporter Aisha Ismail has been following developments and she joins me now. So Aisha, hello. There's been quite a lot of response from within Parliament. You've spoken to various political parties and chief among them Bantu Holomisa, who is asking basically for the President to step aside.
That is indeed so, Sally, and I mean, this whole issue has now become known as Dollar Gate. And talking about Bantu Holomisa, he's saying he's not only calling for the President to step aside, he wants the President to take a long sabbatical. He's also calling for 2 retired constitutional judges to probe this matter. He says that there has to be an independent investigation. He also says that, of course, it has to be independent because we cannot, as he say, trust Bekele and his police officers. Let's listen to what Bantu Holomisa had to say.
It cannot be expected that the President, while the investigation will be taking place, done by his police, should be in the office. Rather, he should go to a sabbatical leave for a few months, and then that the preliminary investigation be conducted by these judges. And upon finalizing that inquiry, the judges must send that document to the NPA for further deliberations or decisions. But otherwise, the allegations are serious and we cannot rely on spinning all the time. The facts are there. Somebody must verify the authenticity or otherwise of those facts. But we cannot conduct an inquiry while he's in the office. This is a general principle which is applied to people who are involved in serious crimes.
The Democratic Alliance is also calling on the President to speak very openly about everything that happened on the farm in February 2020. They also want the Reserve Bank to probe the matter. Tell us more about what the DA is saying.
So the DA is calling on the President to make a full disclosure. John Steenhuisen was saying that the President has to take the nation into his confidence. He's being supported by the Freedom Front Plus. I spoke to the Freedom Plus Front's leader this morning, Peter Groenewald, and he also said that there are so many questions that still need to be answered. And he is saying that if it is found that the President did not comply with the rules of our financial regulations, then he needs to be prosecuted so that South Africans can see that not even the President is above the law. But let's take a listen to what John Steenhuisen had to say.
Far too many questions remain unanswered. How much money was kept on the farm and in what currency? How much of it was stolen? How did this foreign currency get into South Africa? How long was it stored on the President's property? Were the correct exchange control observed? And does the President still hold foreign currency at his farm or any other of his properties? Similarly, there are far too many unanswered questions about the robbery itself, and particularly the failure to report it to the South African Police Service. South Africans deserve to know whether the President has no faith in the SAPS or whether there were other reasons for withholding this crime from the police. South Africans also need to know whether the President paid suspects and witnesses for their silence, whether there were kidnappings involved, and whether he used his position as head of state, as well as state resources, for his own private and business investigation.
Now, Aisha, you tried to speak to the SA Reserve Bank, and of course the question is around if money was received, payment for game was received in US dollars, in cash, was it declared, what about the tax? So many questions. What did they say to you?
Well, I did write to the South African Reserve Bank this morning and asked them whether they had received this letter from John Steenhuisen asking them to investigate whether the president did comply with all the rules and regulations. And the response that I got back was that it's not the practice of the South African Reserve Bank to comment on investigations past, present or future, and that the South African Reserve Bank also does not comment on whether they have received documents from any individual.
Thank you very much for that update, Aisha Ismail in Cape Town.